Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you been, bro?
I've been okay. I mean, it's just kind of like ended up getting a new car a couple months ago, and I was just so fucking hyped. And it's just like it's a Toyota, which means it's like the finest car I've ever owned, and it's just like I feel
That's
like the
badass.
whole universe has started a conspiracy just to fuck me over or something. Just
Right.
I wish
You get a car now, you can't go nowhere and do anything with it.
exactly. And it's an amazing car too, but the situation. It's just like it's like being in front of like an amusement park and like it's closed indefinitely.
Yeah.
So pretty
Other
much
than that, man, what you been up to? Same shit, different day.
yeah. I mean, I've been getting back into the Aquarian a lot, and that's what I've been doing now, and hopefully.
Yeah, I think pretty much every tour that I know of is shut down. I mean, ours is a go as of right now, but I doubt that's even going to happen. I mean, I'm waiting for them to be. I mean, at any day or any hour, they could be like, actually, we're not going to be doing this. So I know in a lot of states, what's gonna hurt a lot of things is not knowing when phase one is going to start, because a lot of venues are banking on when to know when phase one starts. Because if you know when phase one starts, then you can kind of guesstimate every 2 weeks a new phase starts, and if the venues don't have a date on when phase one is going to start, then they're not going to know when they can up and open up their venues, and that's kind of what is killing. It was killing a lot of promoters and a lot of people that run venues, because they have no idea what phase one, especially in New Jersey and New York, because we were a hot spot,
So like,
I mean, so those areas were hit hard. Our areas were hit hard. Philly, Pennsylvania was hit hard too. So
so
it's
like
unfortunate.
what
Yep.
bands are you currently dealing with right now?
Right now, once the Trophy kind of fills it out or whatnot, I started working with a few bands from the area. I was working with Strychnia for a little bit, but that didn't work out. And I was working with this band Morning Aurora for a little bit. That didn't work out. So I hit up my buddy Carlos, who was in the same metal scene as me in Philadelphia area. And he was out west at the time, and I started working for his band and whatnot. And just went through the grapevine and whatnot. So right now I work for Andrew W. Boss out of Salt Lake City. It's like hip hop. It's like a rap rock project, almost like a Lip Bizkit / Linkin Park with a little bit of Mudvayne-ish, a lot of rap and rock involved in that. I also work for 5280 Mystic. He's a rapper based out of Phoenix, Arizona, local rapper, up and coming rapper. And I work for Co-op, which is short for Coop, which in the long run it's Cooper, which is Alice Cooper's son, Dash Cooper. They're called Co-op. So they're based out of Arizona. So all the bands I work for now are all projects are all based out of the Arizona and Salt Lake City area. So I do that, and yeah, I've been doing that for the last. I would say Atropia broke up in 2012 or 11, whatever that Warbringer show was. We played like maybe 2 more shows after that, and that was the end of us. And I would say by like that following summer or that following Halloween time, I was flying out to California to pursue my dreams out there, because, like I said, Atropia wasn't really doing much. Like our drummer, he went off and was doing his own thing. Our bass player, he was working full time. Our guitarist, Chris, who he wasn't at the interview. You didn't get to see him when we ended up meeting up with you. He was backpacking, like remember we were saying he was backpacking and doing all that shit. He still does that to this day. He goes all around the world. So everyone's kind of was doing their own thing, and I was kind of just sitting at home like, man, like what the hell am I gonna do? So one of the guys, like I was saying, one of the guys from the Philadelphia area that played shows with Atropia moved out to California, and even when Atropia was playing shows and he was in California, me and him always touched base with each other. I always was interested in whatever project he was in. He would send me like merch. He would send me like links to songs or whatnot. So like when my band, like when Atropia went stale, it was easy for me to just be like, yo, bro, if your guys ever need a merch guy or a roadie or anything, like I'm not doing nothing out here. And he hit me up and was like, yo, the band I worked for, they were called Mad Life. They were like an industrial rock band, kind of like a Rob Zombie-ish band. They were really, really good, based out in L.A. He's like, yo, we're doing 2 shows out in Phoenix. He's like, so we would love for you to come out, and we're taking a tour bus or whatnot. So it was like a 7-hour trip. ended up being a little bit longer because we're on a tour bus. So I ended up taking like 10 hours or whatnot. But like, I got the experience being on a tour bus for the first time. And the people that hosted us at the shows in Arizona, I'm friends with the dudes to this day. Like the drummer, he came to our show. One of our friends, Jake, who's a bass player to this band Throw Logic, he came to the show, and I got to hang out with all these people. And I just kept hanging out with them. And my buddy Carlos, who was in Mad Life, joined their band. And it just wherever Carlos went, I kind of went because he was in all local bands and whatnot. And then after a while, I became really, really good friends with Corey, the drummer that was in the band Throw Logic or whatnot. So Carlos, he's a talented musician and whatnot. He eventually ventured off and he joined the band Motor Grader. And when he joined the band Motor Grader, they already have like they have their stage guy, they have their merch people, they all that. So I kind of couldn't follow him, but I became super best friends with Corey throughout the times of me playing shows with Carlos and all his other and them throughout different projects. That he was like, yo man, I kind of want to make you my drum tech / like roadie guy / whatever, man. He's like, I like your work. And then literally to this day, he's in Co-op. He's an Andrew W. Boss. He runs a t-shirt printing company that me and him fucking that I work for or whatnot. So like me and him been doing stuff. Me and Corey have been doing stuff for like the last like 5 years solid. And like we travel all over the United States and like we do a lot of stuff. So like yeah, that's pretty much a rundown. So it's Andrew W. Boss, 5280 Mystic, and Co-op. That's pretty much what I'm working with right now.
So what was that last show you worked at right before the quarantine? What was like the feeling in the air?
It was cool because actually our last show was Salt Lake City. So you mean like the last show we played like since before all this shit went down?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Like, cause Salt Lake City, it was the last show of the tour. It was Andrew W. Boss, 5280 Mystic. There was a local on the show, and Head PE, who tours all around America. They're a really big band, gold metal band, Head PE. It was really, really awesome because Head PE really, really pulls a big crowd of Salt Lake City. It was probably 300 people packed in this little-ass bar. Everyone was having a good-ass time. I mean, at the time, no one knew. I mean, we all were talking like, yo, you hear about that shit that's going on in China? But, like, we didn't know the extent of it. You know what I mean? Like, we were all, like, going about our everyday, because you figure we went back home, and within a few weeks, we announced that we were going on tour with Saliva, Power Man 5000, Edema, and Fall. So, like, we were already like, all right, cool. We're all getting our, we're all promoting that. We're all hitting up venues, letting them know, like, yo, we're coming to an area. Like, we see, like, all the tour dates, and we're hitting up our friends in certain areas. Like, yo, we'll be in this area here, and, like, come out to the show. You know what I mean? So we're doing our own promotion on our own. And then, literally, like, out of nowhere, all this shit went down. But, like, as far as, like, the feeling in the air, the energy was as high as ever. Like, anytime Head PE plays in Salt Lake City, like, it's a super good show, a lot of energy, and our stage performance alone, like, we bring a lot of energy anyway. Plus, it's hometown fans, so a lot of people were coming to see us that were from the area and whatnot. So the overall energy from the beginning of the show to the end was super, super packed. I mean, super, super excited. I mean, people were in there from the beginning to the end. Like, it was an awesome night. Like, everyone got to sell merch. Everyone made money. Like, it was a good night. You know what I mean? Like, it was. You know what I mean? We didn't think like 2 weeks after that, places in America would be shut down. Traveling over to Europe and other areas would be shut down. You know what I mean? Like, no one saw any of this coming. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really crazy. But yeah, that's to answer your question. Like, the energy was phenomenal as always. Like, it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, it was awesome.
So, do you have any shows lined up for, say, later in the summer or fall?
Right now, we have that tour for July with Head PE and with Saliva, Power Man 5000, and all that. Like I was telling you, we have that tour going on in fall. That's supposed to be hitting the East Coast, down south a little bit in Texas, Midwest a little bit or whatnot. That's going on. And then with the other projects I got going on, well, Andrew W. Boss too, we're doing that tour. But we have a CD release shows in Phoenix, Arizona, Salt Lake City, Vegas and Salt Lake City for Andrew's new album that comes out August 15th, I believe, or 14th. It's called The Arrival, one of those days. But yeah, we're doing CD release shows, and the other band I work for, Co-op, they're doing those shows with them. So we're supposed to be doing a 3-show run, like I was saying, Phoenix, Vegas, and Salt Lake City for the release of The Arrival. And then we were supposed to, me and Co-op and us, we were supposed to head from Salt Lake City up to Washington, Bremerton, Washington. We're supposed to do 3 shows for Washington Bike Week, one of our buddies like mansion party shows or whatnot, and then another show at another venue in Posebo, Washington. I'm pretty sure somewhere in Bremerton, Washington, or whatnot. So those shows. So if for some reason the tour doesn't happen and local venues are able to have shows, I feel like we could still do those shows because those are local shows. You know what I mean? Those aren't national tours. You know what I mean? That's just us having a local show at a local venue. So we hope at the very least, if for some crazy reason, this tour can't happen, which I'm kind of thinking it's not gonna, but I don't know. If that tour doesn't happen, I think we can still do those 6 shows I mentioned because, like I said, those are all local shows. It's 3 CD release shows at local venues that we're going ourselves. You know what I mean? That we're booking ourselves, and then we're doing 3 shows in Washington that we're booking ourselves. So, I mean, it's gonna suck if the tour doesn't happen, but
DC
to be able to fall back,
like the West Coast.
The West Coast is gonna be Seattle. The West Coast. Hopefully by then shit'll be open so we can play those shows. You know what I mean? Like I'm hoping by July, bars and venues are able to open up and do their thing, and then by August it's just like okay, we can do shows. We can't do national acts because no one's gonna be touring. I mean, you figure no band's gonna be booking tours around that time. But like you figure if there's a local show that's gonna go on or local bands want to have a show, whatnot. All right, maybe we can be able to do that. So hopefully we land on that side of the spectrum where all right. We're back to local shows. We might not have a national touring act unless it's a local band, a local touring act. Say a band from California that's a really big band that's from California. It's like, yo, we want to throw a show in our hometown just because we want to have a show and they know they can sell it out. Okay, cool. But like as far as like the tour going through, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I feel like a lot of bands from those areas are gonna throw shows themselves. Like August Burns Red, they're from Lancaster. I feel like once venues and shit opens back up, they're like, all right, let's do a hometown show just so people can come out, have fun, and do that kind of shit. Or like maybe Danzig will do a show in Jersey, or you know what I mean? Like that, using that as an example. You know what I mean? But I don't think a tour will be coming through anytime soon.
What kinds of things have you heard on safety precautions you're probably going to see on those first live shows back in the game?
Oh, I think the masks are probably going to be a big thing. I think venues are going to have the hand sanitizers in the front of every venue. I mean, who knows if this thing lasts to the point where we're sitting there looking until 2021, we might be able by then we might be able to just go to a show normally. You know what I mean? Because it might be a whole nother it might be months before we're able to do shit. So by then maybe there's a vaccine or maybe there's, maybe this virus isn't as deadly as people think and people can go back to regular lives and whatnot, but we might be able to, if it lasts this long, because I see promoters are talking like, I don't think I'm going to be able to book a show a tour until 2021 and all this other kind of stuff, which is alarming. It sucks. I think it's going to be, that's a little far-fetched and it's going to be before that, but for promoters all around, and another thing that's alarming is for promoters that they're making statuses on their Facebook and saying, and this is all around America, they'll make a status and they'll be like, if the ban was to be lifted next month and we were able to book shows, how many people, would you guys be willing to go to shows? And 9 times out of 10, the comments are, nah, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to go to shows. There's photographers commenting. As much as I love to be backstage taking my pictures and meeting people and all that and interviewing people, I'm not ready to do that for a while. You know what I mean? And that's multiple people doing that. You know what I mean? Like another example, when Blabbermouth and all those metal sources shared that article about Missouri opening back up last month or last week, and they were going to do shows and whatnot. Everyone was like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go to a show. You know what I mean? And like those are and you got to look at those people that are commenting because those are the people that go to shows and buy merch. You know what I mean? Their input is everything. You know what I mean? If they're sitting there like, nah, I don't want to do that. And if a promoter and everyone that's commenting on a promoter's post is saying, I'm not going to go to a show, and those are the people that buy the tickets to his shows. You know what I mean? And you got to look at that and be like, all right, well, maybe people don't want to go to shows right now. Maybe I should back up and maybe I should listen to these people. You know what I mean? Maybe it isn't going to be as easy as people think that, okay, next month we can go to show. Like, even people in my area, they're like, okay, we can go to the boardwalk, but everyone's like, I'm not going to go to the boardwalk. Hell no, I'm not going to the boardwalk right now. You ain't seeing me at the boardwalk till, shit, maybe next year. You know what I mean? So, like, everyone has, whether this virus is as deadly as it is and people are scared or they aren't, people are taking the precautions to where they're like, I'm not, you know what? I don't want to go to a show. I don't want to go to the beach right now. I'm good on that. I'll stay home. You know what I mean? And it's not people being negative. It's just people being like, all right, well, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like you can take it as negative or you can take it as people, whatever it is, but it's just, I've seen it all through different resources, whether it's Facebook posts or the big news articles sharing different things and whatnot. And like, no one seems to be wanting to go to a show. There is people that are chiming in and being like, hey man, I can't, I'll go. But like, it's a lot more people saying no versus a lot of people saying, yeah, I'll go to a show right now. And a lot of my friends that are in touring acts, like my buddy that's at Head PE, he's like, I'm not coming back. He's in Australia right now. He's like, I'm not coming back to the States till shit's normal. He's like, I'm good on get on any stage right now. I don't want to play no show. I'm good. I'll chill. You know what I mean? And that's coming from artists that tour around America 90% of the year. You know what I mean? Head PE literally tours all the time. They're barely home. And he's sitting there like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So if the musicians are sitting there like, nah, I'm not doing it, and the fans are like, you know what I mean? Maybe you have to back up and listen to what they're saying. So that's my perspective on the whole precautionary thing.
In the meantime, are you trying to get any of your the bands you're supporting and stuff like that? Are you trying to get any of them involved in like the Facebook Live and the random band
like
you
the live
takeovers
concerts
and stuff like that?
Yeah. The rapper I manage, he did a compilation, a track with DJ from Head PE. They did a track where he did his vocals at his studio. DJ did his part in Australia. The drummer did his part where he's from, and our bass player, and our buddy Kurt did his part where he was from. But as far as the live shows, Andrew W. Boss, May 30th, we have a thing called, I think it's called NetFest. Yeah, NetFest, where it's a live show that's sponsored through Magic Ninja Entertainment. That's Twisted, the Juggalo rap duo. That's their record label. And they're hosting it, and they have a really big following. So, yeah, we're actually on that. I think it's like us, Twisted, Blaze Your Dead Homie, and I think my homie Bakelow's on it, and a few other artists that are affiliated with Magic Ninja Entertainment. So that's our first kind of live sit on the couch virtual show. I mean, we've done it. Andrew and them went live at band practice, so they've done that, a few times or whatnot. But like, this is our first time where we're actually doing a show, a set. And I actually saw the file and what it looks like because they already pre-recorded or whatnot. It looks pretty awesome. So I'm excited to see that. It's on the 30th. So I think that's next Saturday, is the 30th, or 2 Saturdays from now.
Yeah, 2 Saturdays.
Whenever that is, but yeah. Yeah. 2 Saturdays from now, it's going to be NetFest. So I'll send you the link, and I'll have you. I'll DM you the link so you have that or whatnot. That's going to be pretty cool. Like, I think that'll be something for people to watch. Like I was saying, Magic Ninja Entertainment have a really, really good following. We toured with those guys 2 different times. We toured Twisted. We did a 8-show run in the West Coast 2 years ago, and then we did a 32-show run. We actually played the place that you came out and saw Trafia at Poughkeepsie, the Chance. Yeah, we played that venue. Yeah, but we played the downstairs part instead of the upstairs part. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like we got to hang out with juggalos. Like, none of us are juggalos by any means, but I got to give a shout out to those juggalo people, because those people were they treated us well. They're super kind people. Like, I have nothing bad to say about them. I mean, I know they get a bad rep for whatever it is they get a bad rep for, whether it's the gangs or like, they wear face paint or whatnot. But like, those people were super nice to us. You know what I mean? Like, we never had to worry about our vans getting stolen. They gave us free alcohol. They were giving us food. They were giving us weed. You know what I mean? They were just being super hospital when it came to that. And that was badass. You know what I mean? Because a lot of motherfuckers on the road, like, either they're assholes or they're fucking, you know what I mean? Like, some people could be dicks, and they weren't dicks at all. You know what I mean? Like, I hear a lot of metal bands getting robbed. You know what I mean? Like, we got robbed at this venue, and our whole trailer got stolen. A lot of times it's metal fans that are the ones stealing the shit. You know what I mean? But when it came to the juggalos, like, everyone was super down to earth. Like, if you needed anything, they were there for you. Like, and it was cool. It was like that for a good. I was gone for 45 days, and it was all juggalo shows, and those people were fucking amazing. I got some of my best friends now are juggalo or from those tours, and just people that I encounter with, and whether it's somebody making me artwork, or me being in an area and somebody comes to a show. Even when I'm with Andrew or I'm with 52 Mystic, we might be at a show, but they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna come support," because that's just how juggalos are. Like, they buy CDs, you know what I mean? Like, they buy your merchandise, they remember you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things nowadays, like, you come out with a song, people might remember you, but like, people forget. I mean, people fucking moving on because there's so much music coming out that people fucking pass it along and they'll go on to the next fucking track or the next song or the next artist. With juggalos, they keep that shit in. They'll buy a CD, they'll make you sign it, they'll fucking hang it up, and they'll be like, "Yo, I'm not gonna listen to this. I'll listen to you on Spotify, but it's just," you know what I mean? Like, they're all about that memorabilia, and that shit, like a metal fan. I compare that to metal fans. The only difference is we don't fucking metal fans don't really wear face paint unless you're a black metal fan. You know what I mean? But the most part, diehard metal fans, they go to your seat, they go to your shows, they're buying your shirt, they're buying your CD. You know what I mean? Like they want you to sign your ticket stub. They're all about it. But you go to Drake shows, people ain't buying merch, just sitting there. And if they are, it's like their mom is hanging out with their fucking. They went with their mom and their daddy, and they bought these expensive ass tickets. And they're, mommy, buy me a snow cone and this expensive Drake ticket. You know what I mean? They're watching them in an arena. You know what I mean? No intimacy at all. Where at a metal show or a juggalo show, you're hanging out with everybody, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's a bit shit. Which, I mean, I really, really dig it. So, but yeah, what else you got? What else you got for me?
Now, out of all like the podcasts and live shows you've seen lately, what have been some of your favorites?
I follow. I listen to Doc Coyle from God Forbid and what's he in? Black. Oh man, what do they call it? Bad Wolves. He's a former guitarist from them. He has a really, really good one I listen to. There's this marijuana podcast my friends they ended up making. It's only on like SoundCloud and stuff or whatnot. I've been listening to. I'm a really big fan of The Office, so I've been listening to The Office Ladies. That came out like a while ago. That isn't like too pre-quarantine or whatnot. I listened to that, but I've been listening to a lot of sports podcasts because I'm a really, really big sports fan. So just mainly that. Joe Rogan, always Joe Rogan, that kind of stuff. So I've just gotten. I'm not even gonna lie. I just got on the podcast maybe like a year ago. I mean, my stepdad and my mom and a lot of my friends and everyone in Andrew W. Boss are really, really big into podcasts. I never really gave them a shot because I'm like, I kind of want to just listen to this guy fucking talk while I'm just sitting here. But then I remember I was on the plane one time flying to leave for tour, and there was a Joe Rogan podcast on the Southwest Airlines Wi-Fi thing. It was a free thing, and I was listening to it, and I was like sat there for like good 3 hours and was like, all right, I got a 4-hour flight. I'll just listen to this, and by the time this is done, I'll be there. And it was actually pretty interesting. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start listening to these, and I started like I said, I ventured into the Office one. And then Mike Tyson. I was listening to Mike Tyson's one. His is pretty good. That dude Vlad TV from he's he does like rappers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's I mean, I'm not a big podcast fucking nerd, but I mean, I've been getting into it.
I see. Would you like to go back to any questions?
Nah, man. Let me know if you got any more questions. I mean, everything has been solid. Fucking all those questions, I think we answered pretty thoroughly. But if you got any more questions for me, let me know.
Final words.
All right, final words. Hopefully, we can get back to some normalcy soon because not being able to go to live events is just. I think it's taking its toll on a lot of people. I mean, we got the whole quarantine bundles people are making. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I did it with the rapper I managed with the whole masks and whatnot. We got that going for us, but I think people need to go out. People are missing that live music. You know what I mean? Like people are itching for it. And I mean, I hope it happens soon. I hope we don't rush back into it and a whole nother pandemic or whatever they want to call it happens again. I hope we're smart about it, but I think it needs to happen soon. I mean, I think people are just itching for shows, man. Like it has to happen. It has to happen soon. I mean, I don't want to rush into it. Like I was saying, I don't want to rush into it, but I think people definitely need some music. So that's pretty much all I gotta say because I'm sitting here hopefully waiting to go on tour and sitting here with no answers. So
really appreciate it. This has been an interview with Ciro Mountain on Saturday, May 16th, 2020 by Nick Precautions.